Hello, everyone. A very good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are joining us from. We have with us wonderful Newshee coming back to us again. Newshee had presented fabulous sessions earlier, and she's back with us with a fabulous topic of PYP exhibition. She's going to walk us through the process and will give us very practical ideas to make the entire process more productive and constructive for the learners and the learning community. A very warm welcome to you, Newshee. Welcome back again, and I'm sure you have something, amazing to share with all of us. A very warm welcome. Over to you, Newshee. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Asnaha. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. Yes, I have been here before and I did share my thoughts before. And now I am about here to talk about the PYP exhibition. I have been a PYP facilitator from 2011. I have done 10 exhibitions already, so I'm just going to share my experiences or my takeaways from the process. It's more like an introduction to what is an exhibition or what is a PYP exhibition. Just putting together a few random thoughts of what has happened over the past few years. What is a PYP exhibition? In just one sentence, I'll tell you it is linked with the IB program, okay, the IB PYP program. And basically, it goes with the concept of, that little children, little people can think big. I think that is what even IB wants to inculcate or wants to get from the children. It's no use, no need to think that they're just 10-year-olds or the 5-year-olds. They can't do big, they can't change, they can't go beyond anything. There is absolutely nothing a child can't do. So, this is a kind of a preparation, a platform where they can do whatever they want. They can showcase their education in a manner of their choice. The PYP exhibition can be summed up in three simple sentences. With three simple sentences, you can have your entire context or your entire knowledge of what an exhibition or of what a PYP exhibition is. It is a celebration of learning. It is where the child takes the ownership of his or her learning and where the student can display all elements of the PYP program. Okay. It is not stressful. It is a platform we give where we give chill. Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, Miss Janaki. I can see comments coming up. Thank you so much for all your to everyone who's present. I will take up. Yeah, I have Yasin from Pakistan. Thank you, Yasin. Comments might be reaching me late, so I'll look into the comments later. Okay. So, as I was saying, the PYP exhibition is a celebration of learning. It is an area where the child takes ownership of his or her learning. And as I'm saying, it is PYP, so we are talking about primary year students. We are talking about children with an age of 10 to 11, at the most 12. Okay, looking into the logistics of it. And yes, and it is an area where all the elements of the PYP program, the concepts, the skills, the attitudes, the attributes, or the learner profile, all our skills are now called ATLs, I understand, are all displayed. Now, who displays it or who does it? First of all, it is the grade 5 or 6 students. It depends because at some schools we have the primary year program ending at a grade 6, and for some schools it ends at grade 5. So, accordingly, according to the curriculum or the nature of the school, it it can be the grade 5 students or the grade 4 students. PYP believes in a triangular mode of education where we have the parents, the teachers, and the students working together. So, yes, parents are also an integral part of the learning of the exhibition. We have the grade level teachers involved, and the mentors. Now, who are mentors? This might be a new term. We will deal with it later. The PYP coordinator, of course, without his or her guidance, there is nothing that happens in PYP. Some schools do have the HOD or the head of the department, the principal, and the community. The community stands for the entire school community, or even the community of the child is from. So these are the participants. It is not a random single man show or a single child show. We have all these people helping together, putting in their inputs. uh, I will talk about roles and responsibilities during the course, but yes, these are the people who help or who contribute to the PYP exhibition. Now, what is the PYP exhibition? I have been speaking so much about this. What is it? First of all, it's an inquiry, because PYP does believe in inquiry based learning. It is an inquiry where a child inquires into his or her a topic of his or her personal interest and passion, it and takes it through to the real life situation. Okay, he tries to connect his passion, his interest into real life situations, and it is built on the previous knowledge of the child. It need not, it of course the child does have always has a choice to take a topic which he has not learned in school, but then it taking to, at the same time the child also has the freedom to take a topic and extend the knowledge. PYP caters to students from all backgrounds, from students with all learning perspectives. So we have a multi perspective approach. It is not that PYP, the exhibition, is only for the gifted children. The PYP exhibition is also for everyone. We can have a child from a local background, or we can have a child from the a special needs child. But yes, if he or she has undergone the PYP program, the exhibition is something he or she will enjoy doing. Okay, it's a stress-free environment. I mean, it is up to teachers to make it stress-free, up to the community to make it stress-free, because as I said, it is a celebration of learning. It is an opportunity we give children to display their learning. Excuse me. Sorry. All right. And this learning or this inquiry, we encourage it to develop into action. Now, what action can a child take? What is action, and how is action related to the PYP exhibition? I have a special slide for that. We'll deal with it. And the most important thing, the PYP exhibition is a transition from the from the PYP program to the MYP. With the PYP exhibition, it is a culmination of the program, and the child is ready for middle school. So when we take in a child at kindergarten levels, the curriculum is fit in such a way that the child is bold enough, or the child knows, prepares for the exhibition, and then transmits or transfers to the MYP scheme. What it isn't, this is something which you know is very important. What the PYP exhibition is not. When you think of exhibition, you might think of a science fair, right? That's the first thing that comes to your mind. Rows of still children standing with models in front of them, charts behind them, PPT is ready, and they're ready to speak for 3 or 4 minutes. It might be something they have done overnight. It might be something their uncle, auntie, somebody has helped make it. So that might be the picture when when you think of exhibition that directly comes to your mind. But a PYP exhibition is not a science fair, right? It is not an adult science fair and it is not adult centered. We do not want adults taking over the limelight. Okay, it is where, as I said, it is an topic. The topic is chosen by the child of his or her passion or interest. So it is not something in which an adult is involved. It is not adult oriented, it is not adult owned, it is not adult directed. It is a stage for that 10-year-old grade 5 or grade 6 child. And it is definitely not a competition. The child is pursuing his or her own passion. We do not want to see if what the other person is doing. The child is never compared, never, the topics are not compared, the children are not compared, the presentation is not compared. It is not a competition, it is a celebration. And most important thing, the focus is on the process. How did it start? Where did it go? And how did it end? We are not bothered with what is finally presented. We, to get a model, to get a PPT is very easy, right? But that is not what the exhibition is about. The exhibition is about how we got the product, how the model was uh, built, on what basis, how were these data obtained, what type of inquiry happened. All that is uh, that is what is considered. So it is not something that happens over the weekend, as most of the schools have a theme. The themes are for 6 weeks. Even the exhibition theme is for 6 weeks, but the process of exhibition can start way back, because 6 weeks might not be enough for the child to be equipped to be ready for the exhibition. Because the child, at the end of the PYP exhibition, on the day of the presentation, he is the owner of the topic. He must know, or he will know, if it's properly done, he will know inside out of the topic. I'll go to my next slide. So far we have been talking a lot about the student. Is it only the student who is involved? No, I did say that along with the students, we have the parents, the teachers, the mentors, and the community. All right. The parents are there to support, mentors are there to advise, teachers are there to facilitate, and the community is there to give advice. Okay. Right. Now, I would like to, I'm going to my next slide where I shall talk about the roles and responsibilities of the of each one of each member of the community, be it the parent, be it the student, the mentor. I shall talk about it next. Okay. The first, or the primary responsibility of the student, is to select the topic for the exhibition. This is actually very, very difficult, because, so far the child is used to having teachers teach, or teachers present, teachers facilitate. Okay, we are doing sharing the planet, let's do ecosystems, we are doing how we express ourselves, let's talk about media. But giving them a topic, making them, giving them a choice to choose a topic, is going to be very, very, very difficult. Okay, so selection of the topic is very difficult, because the children, they don't know. You might have a child who is blank, who doesn't know what to select, or you might have a child who want to do many, many topics at the same time. So to narrow it down to that topic of interest is it might be a challenge where the student has to choose responsibility after the selection is done to make. Let's start with the inquiry, or let's start with the exhibition. Posing conceptual questions and framing the central idea and lines of inquiry are difficult. As before, the lines of inquiry, the conceptual questions were all ready for them, right? That is what they have been. A child who is in PYP has known from KG, right? Or we call kindergarten, all right? It's called different in different schools. So from kindergarten, they have everything ready, but framing the central idea, the conceptual questions, the lines of inquiry are going is the next step they have. After that is a plan how to carry out an open-minded in-depth inquiry. Okay, the child might, it's always I've seen a very interesting curve. At the start of the exhibition, the curve just picks up with interest. They're all very interested. Oh, yes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But then, after sometimes it goes down. And then to bring the interest level up could be a little challenging. So, for that to happen properly, to come up from the dip, planning is very, very important. Okay, because as we said, the child is not aware of the amount of inquiry that is required to present, to do justice to the central idea. All right, so there are lots of strategies, like you can have visits to the library. Children who don't like reading, okay, you have to find a subject expert and take an interview with them. Do site surveys. Field trips will do excellent, will give you reports or give you knowledge which which the first hand experience is always better. So field trips will do excellent surveys, etc. So these are ways in which you can make sure that you climb up from the dip. Okay, documentation is very, very important in IP. If, with anything you do, document properly whatever findings you have. Maybe it might be the results of the Google form, the skim and scamming you have done it in the library, or whatever you have done. Document it, record it, and reflect on your work. That is advice for the students. Reflect on your work. You might start thinking this might be the result, but your hypothesis might go wrong. All right, you might be in for very, very, very big surprises. So reflecting on your work is very important. And academic honesty is very important. Do not steal somebody else's work. State the credentials properly. This is another thing you will have to do in your documentation. Wherever you have, don't take a word or a sentence or anything and claim it as yours. Give the author due credit. Okay, academic honesty is an integral part of your exhibition. Have a You can see different schools have different. Can you recommend any helping students narrow down the topic? Okay, how can you recommend narrowing down the topic? Can I ref? Yes, you can recommend. That is where you can ask the child what are their interests. You can ask, okay, where the to. Okay, I could not read Yasin's comment. It was
You
going.
can continue with the presentation. The comments are flashing, so no
Yeah,
issues. You can come back
yeah.
to the
I'll
comments then.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take the comments later. I'll take the questions later. I
Yeah.
saw about narrowing down topics. Yes, we'll talk about it later because otherwise my flow will go. Okay. But that is a very good, that is a big challenge of narrowing down the topics. Okay. So I was talking about the importance of academic honesty. So that is one of the biggest responsibilities of a student. Then communication. Communication is very important. It is essential. It is something an IB PYP student should have. So you have to communicate with your teacher, with your mentor, with your teammates. Sometimes, exhibitions are not solo. It might be a group work. All right. Actually, in our school, till the pandemic, we only had group exhibitions. Okay. Because somehow children always liked to be in a group and do the work, present it as a group. It was only during the pandemic we had solo exhibitions. So whatever are your findings, make sure you share it with your teammates and also your parents must be see, most of our parents will not be IB students, so they will not understand, okay, how, the importance of or the significance of a child doing a project on his own, an exhibition on his own. 6 months, doing it alone, is he wasting time? So, all these questions might be running inside your parents' mind. So, communicate with them. Moreover, they might have solutions or they might have quick fixes for your problems. And while doing all this, make sure all the elements of the PYP are addressed. Whether the knowledge accumulate is legitimate. What happens is sometimes your source might not be a valuable source. It might not be accurate. So cross check it, because the exhibition is, after all, yours, I mean the students. You are solely responsible. You cannot say, this source told me this information. It was up to you to verify if that information is you know is truthful, okay, and it doesn't have any gray areas. And yes, the oral, written, visual presentations all should be at rest. While you're doing your research, it'll obviously come, okay? And then keep a track of time. What happens is, with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of things going on, you might be overdoing things, or you might say, I have got time, and you might take a layback. When I mean you, I'm talking about the student, because we are referring to the responsibilities of the student. There might be a chance of taking a laid back position or an mood, or you might be over enthusiastic and keep on moving around just one conceptual question, not addressing the entire thing. So keeping the time in mind is very, very important. Yes. And most important is celebrate your learning, because on the day of the exhibition, be confident, be happy, and just uh, celebrate it, because it is your day. It is the day where the child is makes everybody proud. Okay, now I shall go to the roles of the homeroom teacher or the classroom teacher. For from the beginning of the year, you have been facilitating the students. You were the one in the driving seat, but this time, with this team, you have to step aside and let this child lead. Okay, you are no longer in control of the steering. Just keep your hand on the gear. The child will drive. Okay, facilitate and guide the exhibitions process. That is what you have to do. Make sure the components are met. Make sure the conceptual questions are answered. If the topic is good, and ensure if all students take active part in the group. Okay, they might, if it is a group event, there might be students who overshadow, or they might be a student who feels left out. Look out for those and make sure that everybody is a part. And yes, recording, keep a record of the process. And you can give them small reminders. Oh, you have not done that. We have 28 days more to go. Do you think a field trip will do you good? Okay, so all that is comes under the role of the homeroom teacher. Plan collaboratively. Collaboration is the what nervous system of the PYP program. So when you are planning, when the children are planning, keep your co-teachers into account, keep the parent company into account, and keep the PYP coordinator and the heads of the institution in account. I mean, to what is happening, because there will be somebody with a better idea, a better solution. And since we are looking at a multi perspective, we are looking into a transdisciplinary exhibition, the art teacher, the music teacher, the ICT ma'am will always have more inputs to give. So please plan collaboratively. Never think this is my exhibit, this is the exhibition happening in 6A and I am the homeroom teacher and I can do it all by myself. Please don't. Plan collaboratively, because that is the beauty of the exhibition, when everybody becomes a part. And to speak it, it's kind of like a sentimental thing in most of the schools, because we have seen the children with us from kindergarten, especially teachers teaching all grades, the specialists like the music teacher. So she must have taught the child in grade 1, and now when the child has reached grade 5, the music teacher will know how far the child can go. So, planning collaboratively, involving all members of the community is very essential. After that, I will go to mentors. We have been talking so much of these mentors. Who are they? And what are their roles? Mentors can be anyone other than the homeroom teacher. All right. It can be any adult. It can even be an older student. It can be a student in grade 6 or 7 who has already done the exhibition. Okay. And the sideboard says it all. The role, the duties of the mentor is just to help, to support, to advise, and guide. The help of the role of the mentor is to be that friendly adult. When things go wrong at home, we always have a parent to fall back to. It might be your mother, or who can save you from your father, or give you that warmth and that console you. So the role of the mentor is that friendly adult to whom the little child can turn back to. So mentors have to meet the student once a week. Don't meet them always. If you're meeting them always, you're not helping letting them grow. Don't meet them after every lesson or at every break. Have a fixed schedule. Once a week is enough. Okay, I met you this week. Next week, we'll do. You have to do this, and then we'll discuss about it. Listen to the child. The child may have a lot of problems. You might be going to the mentor meeting thinking, okay, today I'm going to talk about this. Hold on. Let the child speak and ask the child, what is it? How is it? Have you found the answer to the conceptual question? Is the inquiry for the first LOI over? What happened at that interview? Have you prepared questions? Who's taking you to the field trip? Okay, listen to them. They'll have lots to tell you. And sometimes just ask them how they are, because they already have so much to do with the exhibition. They might just like to sit and talk to you about something they ate or a movie they saw. So be that friendly adult. And while doing that, also given small questions where you can probe and check if the thing is done. Have a checklist. Okay, you can prepare a small checklist. It can just be a tick mark question or a tally mark or something like that. Something. Okay, with your child. Let it that be the secret between the secret book or something. As you are a mentor, you will have a bond with the child, so it is easy for you to develop small checklists, and just to see if everything is going out properly. Weekly targets and timeline, yes, that is something we have to do. because you are the friendly adult, not the friend. And yes, communicate with the HRTs. Tell the HRTs, okay, I feel he can do a little more better. I feel she's having a little struggling there. That there's a book there that the child can refer. Keep the HRT in the loop, okay, and have a record of the meetings, because IB believes in a lot of documentation. A small, write a small anecdotal report in your little diary, that will do, but please keep a record of the meetings. After the role of the mentor, we come to the role of the parents. Okay, parents often wonder, right, what to do in the PYP exhibition. They have seen the exhibition the year previously and they know that all the children have done fabulously and they know this and that is expected from the child. But what is expected from the parent? What am I supposed to do? And 99 percentage of our parents are not IB students, right? They studied in the local background, the local curriculum. So they might have not done the exhibition. So they might be wondering how their 11-year-old child would do and what should they do. So a quick look at the role of parents. First is support and encourage your parents, at your students and teachers toward the inquiry process. Believe in your child that a child is capable of picking a topic, doing an inquiry, and coming up with a proper presentation. All right. You can read newsletters, attend the school meetings, check the school websites, talk to your child or talk to the children before, because the children, they tell you everything. Children speak the truth. Okay. Adults have a way of sugarcoating things, but not kids. They'll tell you black is black. Okay. Yes, you can ask your child open ended questions. Don't give them answers. If you're giving them answers, you're taking away their pride, the joy of them finding. Okay? Respect student ownership. Your child is capable of it. Let us give that little adult the due respect he or she requires. Okay? You can monitor the weekly planner. Oh, you've done good. You've not completed this. This was your target. What happened? All right. And at times, the child might be doing a researching on a topic in which you are an expert, because for most of the children, their role models are none other than their parents. They just want to be like their father or mother when they grow up. I had an exhibition where the child wanted to research on Warren Buffett just because his father was a successful businessman. So there will be an areas where you are the subject as expert. You can also ask your child what topics are his friends doing. Okay, and maybe you can provide your expertise there also. All right. So if you are the subject expert, please give information. You can also reflect on the exhibition, reflect on what the child has done, and give your feedback. But the most important thing is be a part of the celebration. As we said, the PYP exhibition is a celebration. It is a celebration of the learning, and there is no celebration for the child at this age without his or her parents. So be an integral part of the celebration. Now, the next I'm going to the student community, the community, all right, the school community and their role. The role of the community is pretty easy. First is share the information they have and provide expertise. This community can be anybody. For example, one of the years I had a student researching on transport. Transport was his topic, and he got all his information from this our school bus driver, who had around 20 years of experience with the driving government buses, and now he is driving the school bus. So that was his expecting the subject expert. So whichever in any way you can support, please support, share information, and provide expertise. Now, since I have already talked of what the exhibition is, what it isn't, the people involved, and I have kept on saying that the process is what is important. It is not the product. It is not what happens on the final day that is important. In the academic calendar there will be a date set for the PYP exhibition. It's set from the beginning. It might be a week before school closes, or a week before the PYP graduation. But the academic year, the date of the PYP exhibition is set. It is set from day one. And from that day one, the exhibition process begins. In fact, it begins when the child joins the school, because the curriculum we do, when we set up our POI, we do a backward mapping. I mean, the heads of the schools, the PYP coordinator, the teachers, and all do the PYP, do a backward mapping all the way from grade 5 to kindergarten. So that the child who joins I mean from the child that reaches grade 5 is ready for the exhibition. Even it also takes into consideration the children who joins in between. So this is an entire process. All right, and now let us talk about how this process happened. And the most important thing, or the first thing that happens, is getting ready for the exhibition. So students, teachers, mentors, parents, community have to have an understanding what the exhibition is about and create an essential agreement. There will be a lot of sessions. There will be a lot of sessions, where it might be headed by the PYP coordinator or the grade level teachers, informing the parent community, informing the students on what is the exhibition, what are the expectations, what are the different roles about it, about each one has to go to it, and what is expect what all components are to expected. There are four components: the oral, visual, written, and the presentation component. Each school might have its own rubrics or its own status on how many oral components are required, how many visual, written, or presentation components is are required, so you can discuss with everyone. So it is informing and maybe becoming ready for the exhibition is a very important part. Okay, and that involves, it's not only the students, the teachers have, the homeroom teachers have to be ready, the mentors have to be ready, parents, community. It is kind of like a global, I mean, global thing as far as the child is concerned. Everybody is there. Yes, coming to some, this was a question somebody asked also. Identifying the topic of interest. That is actually very difficult, because, yes, children might have more than one topic. What you can do is you can ask children the five W's. Why did you choose it? What do you want to know about it? Who will give you the information? Where can you get it? And when can it be? Ask the five W's and the single edge. Okay, and try to find out answers. You can do the same question, stay with the other topic. Suppose if the child wants to inquire into music and the child wants to do cricket, you ask these five questions, and then let the child decide which has which has more weightage. If by any chance you can combine these two, how music influence cricket, okay, or how music influence sports, if there is a way in which you can combine it and do justice to it, do it. If it is two different, totally different topics like gluten allergy and the solar system, okay, ask the child, why are you doing it? You can use a lot of visual thinking skills. You can so that the child understands. So finding the topic is very difficult. That is why most of the schools, they start the exhibition process way before the sixth theme. In our school, we devote one lesson for the PYP exhibition every week from the second theme onwards. The first theme we allow children, because they need children take time settling down, getting accustomed to the new classrooms. The teachers are new. There might be students who have joined in grade 5, so there might be a lot of new faces. So first theme, we just have it as a settling down. From the second theme onwards, slowly our PYP coordinator comes in, or the homeroom teacher comes in, and one lesson a week is devoted for the PYP exhibition. So by the time the sixth theme is ready, it starts, the topic is selected. So all this confusion of which topic to select, can I do another one, will be over by the start of the sixth theme. So you can understand the amounts. Almost 7 months since the topic has been revealed. We have 10 months of school. uh, 7 months, once a week we are talking about this. So the child is ready, the topic is finalized. Okay. Yeah. So I think I've answered that question that came around. Okay. Previous knowledge is very important. Always have a grasp of what we know and where we can go forward with it. Formulate questions regarding to the topic. This will help in under forming proper conceptual questions, the central idea, and the lines of inquiry. So getting ready for the exhibition process is time consuming, and it's engaging and enriching too. Gathering information after we have been ready, after we have planned the central idea, we've selected a topic, and we are ready. The next phase is to gather information for our exhibition process. That will require brainstorming all possible resources. This is why it is not a science exhibition where you just look into one book or one YouTube video or one DIY and your project is ready. All possible research resources have to be exploited. Okay. At times we take children to the senior school library. In our school, we have a junior school library and a senior school library also, where the middle school and the senior school children use it. We take our children there also, because some information might be hiding there. Okay. Identifying the key vocabulary. You can collect data from forms, books, surveys, interviews, field trips. I've talked about this earlier, so I'll just rush through it and evaluate the credibility and usefulness of resources. Many sites will give you many information. Check it out if it's credible, and yes, if it is useful, and record it very properly. And we also talked about timeline, which is very important. Now, coming to the last phase, I've just put it into a three layer presentation. We're getting ready, gathering information, and then now it is time to organize and be ready for the presentation. What do we do then? Okay. As we said, we have exploited all the resources. So we have a pile of resources with us. We have a pile of information. There is information from an interview with an expert. There's information from the YouTube, from Wikipedia. There's information everywhere. Sorting out the information. You can make a journal, you can create a blog, a website, Google Slides. This is where the importance of ICT comes in. In this year, our ICT teacher, she was a common mentor for all the children, because all children needed ICT, especially during the pandemic, because there was no way they could go to the library or have a field trip. It was just the net. So information technology, ICT, is very important for gathering information as well as organizing it. Making children create their own websites through Google Sites is it's very enriching, it's very rewarding for the children. They feel proud to own a website. It's like, owning a Mercedes Benz for them. They have, oh, I have my own website where I can put my own reflection. And they are, once you teach them the knacks of going around it, they are more tech savvy than us. So they will get it in a jiffy and present it in an extraordinary out of the box ideas. Reflecting on before presentation. As I said, the date of the exhibition, April 25th or February 29th, has already been set up in the academic calendar. Before that, reflect on what you have learned through the process, through all these time, from the library, from your Wikipedia, from that subject expert, from your parents, from your mentors. Reflect and just think, can anything more be done, and how can I present it better? Okay, because exhibition is always because the child has chosen a topic of his own choice. So exhibition is always about putting the best foot forward. So if you plan properly, you have more than enough time. Okay, so just plan how best you can do. Action is very important. We always talk about it. Okay, so what is the action element? Just research and just presentation is not the end of a PYP exhibition. The PYP exhibition remains empty. Oh my god, there's something really missing. That is the action component. How can I act? What actions can be done? That will be a very that's a question that comes up into all children have that. Oh, I'm doing on music, I'm doing art, what action can I take? My favorite topic was cartoons evolved, or how movies evolved. What action can I take? How can I address that? A few ways to address the action component are: first is, you can inform people, passing information. All right, it can be through a poster, a video, a project, a persuasive letter, a puppet show, anything. Just inform people and look at it. They have that. The beauty of PYP is it's multi-dimensions, multidisciplinary. So you don't have to inform people vocally or just write long letters. If you are good in doing a mono act and telling about the harmful effects of smoking, that's well and fine. If You can also encourage people to change their behavior. One is enough. If you have told if you take up smoking itself, if you've told one person the harmful effects and you can take a pledge from that person, that is it. That is your action component. You can also inspire people. You have done a project on cleaning oceans. 11-year-old child cannot clean an ocean. But yes, when I begin big, I'm going to make sure the oceans are clean. That inspiration. You have sown the seeds there. That is an action component. You can prevent it. Okay, if suppose you've taken transport, you can tell the go and inform a child, the harmful effects of throwing rubbish on the road. Okay, so that might prevent a banana peel, that might prevent it. you can build up something. I had a child who was very much one of the best exhibition projects was when a student wanted to help the blind people. The child actually built a cane for the visually handicapped people person. So action is all this. Okay, so I think I've talked about the action component. Now we keep from the beginning, we say it is student led, adults have to take a back seat, we shouldn't interfere, we should just guide. And we also say it's a celebration of learning, and with that we also say it is the end of the PYP program. Now, for most of us, we might say, how can a program or how can a curriculum end without an assessment? Is there any assessments in the exhibition or isn't there? How does of course, it is not a competition. So, does that mean the child isn't assessed? The child is left to his or own devices. To keep a check, we do have assessments, which is an ongoing feedback. For everything the child does, the homeroom teacher gives a feedback. Okay, and for all the components they are presenting, they are assessed. So how are they assessed? The children are encouraged to make their own rubrics or checklist. Teachers can also do that. Okay, based on the rubrics, based on the checklist, the children are assessed. Okay, and they are assessed for the process and not for the product. We are not looking into what happens on that specific day. It is how the child did from the selection of the topic. Did Was it a topic selected by her own choice, or did she just join it because the group was doing so? Have they she address all the elements, everything, the process? It is the final show is just a show. Okay, the student is assessed for the project, and yes, peers also assess them, and also self-assessment. And as I said, the final presentation is a summative assessment. Okay, I think it's almost an hour. Asfana, I have covered everything. I have, yeah, just a little summing up on what is the PYP
You
exhibition.
can sum up. You can sum up easily. No issues. There are no time foundations. So please
Okay,
make it
yeah,
easy for yourself.
okay.
Inculcate it
Okay.
nicely.
Yeah. Okay. Just a summing up of what it is. We can put it in 7 points, something I've been talking of for the past 1 hour. It is student led. Okay. Let the children be in the driver's seat. Let them open the windows. Let them pull, uh, push the accelerator down and let them go down the bumpy road. Okay. And we believe in depth inquiry in a topic of their interest. It should be open minded, it should be globally relevant and action oriented. It should address all the elements of PYP. Information can be obtained from many sources. If the child is just looking into a video, a YouTube video, or some other video, it's time to switch the laptop out and encourage the child to go out and find more information. And yes, it can be expressed in any form. It is not just paper pencil, or it is not oral. It can be expressed in any form. It can be through a puppet show, a mime, a video, a model, graphs, any form. It can even be in the child's mother tongue. It can be in any form. It need not be in English also. It can be in any form, any language, any mode. It is because it is student led, student owned. It can be in any way. It is also not the pro. Yeah, we always say The essence is it is not the final show. Everything what happens at backstage is more important. So that is what the PYP exhibition is all about. And most important thing, it is a celebration. It is where each end has a new beginning. So with the end of the PYP program, we have the start of the MYP program. So it is a celebration of the end and a very, very good beginning too. So that is all from me. Is there any questions I should look into, Aswana?
Thank you, Newshee, for the wonderful presentation. Let's take the comments one by
Okay.
one and let's see what people are saying and asking.
Uh,
So we have Aisha Salim wishing you all the best. Then we have Janaki wishing you again all the best. We have Mr.
Thank you.
Abdul, then Mr. Yasin. A lot many comments from Mr. Yasin. He is a strong supporter of our work
Thank you,
and
Yasin.
encourages
Thank
it.
you, Yasin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have Geraldine. She has joined us from Bangalore. And
Mm-hmm.
then Nareen from Bahrain. Then Mr. Yasin is very, very happy with your presentation.
Thank you
And
so much,
Shabira
Shabir.
is,
Give
yeah,
me
giving
thumbs
you
up.
thumbs up. Then we have Zenia from Bangladesh. Then we have a question where Rachna asks you that can you recommend any interesting strategy for helping students to narrow down on a topic?
I think I've addressed it, right? But
Okay.
I'll tell it more. I'll tell it once again. Talk to the child, okay, and look into which would be more. You can have a kind of keep a trust or something, a balance. Ask the child all the five W's, and also look into where the resources are, which are more easily available. So, and then if you can join the topics together, I mean, if it's somewhere remotely connected, do that. Otherwise, take the topic in which the child has more chance of expressing or finding or inquiry or getting a resource person is easier. Look into all that aspects. One thing I would advise is once the topic is fixed, don't change it midway, because children do come up after 3 weeks. Miss, I want to go back to that. That is a time we have to talk to the child and convince the child, or the ill effects of taking a new topic midway. Yes.
Okay. One strategy that I really like for narrowing the topic is the concentric circle. You remember, like
Concentric
me,
focus. Yes.
yeah, me, my community, my country, my world. So that
Yeah.
helps a lot. That is a
Exactly.
good strategy that we use. And another strategy that I would suggest, Rachna, is to have one-to-one conference with the
Hmm.
kids, and ask
Hmm.
them questions. They should be, very clear, and the topic should be realistic. It should not be, like
Exactly.
my friend is working on animal
Hmm.
abuse, so let's take it, right? So
Exactly.
that you need to have those conversations. So instead of applying a strategy, those organic conversations are very, very
Hmm.
important. So have one-to-one conferences with
Yeah.
the kids. That is very important. Have a questionnaire that will help them to understand that whatever they are choosing, they are really passionate about it, right? And yeah, we must say a heartwarming thank you, Mr. Yasin, for all your valuable comments. There are many. Uh, yes, thank you. And then we have uh, okay,
Rachna from India.
Rachna again. Then we have Dr. Rama from
From
India. She's
India
saying hi.
again.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We have Jency. Jency is again a presenter for us. She had been a presenter for us. She's the one who started the session. So good to see you,
Yeah.
Jency, back in the
Yeah.
community. And she's praising you the way you have expressed your ideas about action. Yes, no action is
Thank you,
small.
Jancy.
We
Thank you
shouldn't
so
say
much.
like,
Yes.
yeah,
I
moving a
agree with
mountain.
it. No action
Yeah,
is small.
moving a mountain is an action. No, no, not really. And having those. colorful bins is an action. Not really, action is something which brings a change within the
That
child.
is all.
And
That
yeah,
is
that
all.
is an authentic action. And as Newshee said, I still remember that line in making the PYP happen when I started my PYP journey, that an action is an authentic summative assessment. There is no
Exactly.
summative assessment which is as authentic as a student initiated action. And exhibition is an example of it. And like I loved seeing you, like the kind of passion that you have, Newshee, for the exhibition, and a lot of expertise you have. So it was wonderful listening to you. And
Thank you so
all the
much.
PIPians are very, very passionate about exhibition.
Exactly.
So
Oh,
it's
I get a virtual hug. Thank you, Khalida.
we have Simi.
Okay, thank you,
We
Simi.
have again Shaju
Shaju.
from India. Thank you so much, everyone. So, before I move ahead and share the exit ticket for today, allow me, Newshee, to share a token of
Yeah.
appreciation as I always do for all the presenter. It's important to acknowledge your efforts with small token of appreciation. I hope it's visible on screen.
Yes, thank you
Thank you so much,
so much.
Newshee. It was wonderful having you here uh, again, and
My
talking
pleasure.
about such an important topic. So this is a small token of appreciation from all of us for you, and we would love to have you back with again some amazing topic soon, sometime
My
soon.
pleasure. The pleasure is mine. Thank you, Afsana. And thanks for everyone who is joining. Oh,
We have
Madhuri.
Madhuri. Madhuri is feeling blessed. Thank you so much. So we have a very close knitted community, right? And thank you
Yeah,
so much, everyone. This shows like how passionate you are. Today is Sunday, right? Some of us are
exactly.
having a summer break, and still we are here, talking about things which are important for our learners. So it's
Exactly.
amazing like how passionate you are as educators. So I'm really, really blessed to have you all. We are very fortunate, we are part of such community. Thank you
How
so much,
passionate you are
Geraldine.
as educator.
So I'm just sharing the link of the exit ticket. So please fill that form. You will get your certificate, and ensure that you're writing the right name, because certificates are auto generated. So write your right name and have your token of appreciation for yourself. Thank you so much, Newshee, and it was wonderful listening to you, listening to your experiences. And I believe that more than theory and presentations, we learn from a person who is experiencing that particular process.
Exactly.
And
No
exhibition is
doubt.
one
No
such
doubt about it.
process.
As they
I
say, the
remember
wearer knows where the
conducting
shoe
exhibition
fits.
more than 8 times, and every time trying the new thing. Right now, I experience it from a different point of view, from a coordinator and the head of primary point of view. But you won't believe the moment it starts. I'm in the classroom, and the sharing of strategies with the kids, all
Hmm,
that is still there. And because it is one such dream for everyone who is there in PYP, that okay,
exactly.
let's see how these kids are performing after going
Yeah.
through such an enthralling program. So yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Yasin. uh, Clear
Oh, thank
understanding of
you.
PYP
Oh,
exhibition, Geraldine. Thank you so much,
thank
and
you
we will
so
have
much.
more, because now Newshee has just touched the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg, right, Newshee? There is a lot more to share. There's a lot more to share. We
Oh,
may
there's
have
lots more.
fun.
I was just thinking, oh my God, at 1 hour, I better not bore people.
I know. You were checking your watch, but yeah, thank you so much, everyone, and I'm saying bye bye to everyone. Next week we have a
Bye from
session
me
with
also. Bye bye.
we have a session with no, I don't remember, Miss Darvesh, and she's going to talk about 100 languages of learners. And she is again an early years expert. So let's listen to her next week. Saying bye bye to everyone. Please fill the exit ticket. Do like, subscribe, and share the channel. That's important, right? Thank you so much, everyone. Have a blessed
Bye.
week ahead. Bye bye. Would you like to conclude, Newshee? Say bye bye to everyone.